So in order to review for some things with color and color theory, first remember that while the sun and all white lights produce all the colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, humans can only see the three primaries. So really, when we talk about color theory, we typically just use the three colors to do things with, because those are the only three that really we can see. So when we have an object that is like red, or some kind of red surface, when we define it as red, we're saying that's the color it is in white light. So something is red in white light because when light hits it, we have the three colors hitting the surface, red, green, and blue. And the green and the blue just get pulled in. Whoops, there's green. There's blue. And it must be the red that's bouncing off to our eye, because that's what we can see. We wouldn't see red if it wasn't reflecting. Remember, if you can see an object, that's because the light is reflecting from that object. So if white light hits this red surface, then where'd the blue and the green go? Well, they got pulled in. We can see the red because that's the one that didn't get pulled in. So if you only then, so another way to think about this, or to deal with color theory, is if we don't have any red light on there, if we only put a blue spotlight on this quote-unquote red surface, well, in the only blue light, there's nothing to reflect off. There's nothing to leave. So that is what we define then as a black object, right? Because it has no color coming from it. There's no light there, so it's a dark surface, a black surface. If we only had green light on this object, that too would be a black surface because nothing bounces off. So all the primary ones are pretty easy to deal with. If you have something that's green in white light and you put red on it, then that's going to be black because that object absorbs all the light hitting it, nothing bounces off. So anything that's black, we talked about this a little bit in class, maybe we didn't talk about it enough. Objects that are black in white light, that means that they're just absorbing everything. So when you have the red, the green, and the blue hitting them, there's just nothing that bounces off. Therefore, they're defined as black. And this is where we talked about, too, that maybe they aren't actually black. They're just colors that we can't see. Maybe there's that infrared light that is reflecting off of them, but since we can't see it, we perceive them to be black. And a white object, of course, reflects everything that's hitting it. So if you have a white object and only have green light on it, then it will appear to be green because that's all there is to reflect off of it. Staying within color theory ideas, the difficult ones are sometimes the secondary color things. So we'll call this cyan. It's not really truly cyan, but it's kind of a cyan color. Its secondary color is a combination of blue and green. So if we have red light and green light and blue light hitting it, it's the blue and the green that bounce off. And this is what we see, and so that's what the human eye perceives as cyan. So if I only had red light hitting this, nothing would bounce off. We would perceive it as black. If I only have green light hitting it, well, cyan objects reflect green light. So I would perceive it, in this case, to be green. There's no blue there, so I can't see anything blue because no blue light is present. So you perceive it to be green. If we only had blue light hitting it, well, cyan things reflect blue light. We would perceive it as blue. So you really have to think about absorption when you deal with these secondary colors. Same thing with yellow. A yellow object reflects red, absorbs blue, and reflects green. So if I only had red light on it, well, then it would seem to be red because that's what's bouncing off.